Hi, I'm Grant.
I'm Quinn.
This is Cash Course Ming Dynasty. Alright, just a little forewarning to this video. We apologize for any mispronounced names throughout the entire video because we all know there will be a few. But with that, let's get started. So the Ming Dynasty's lack of order, the influx of American silver, and their withdrawal into isolation led to their demise.
To give you some context, the Ming Dynasty drove out the Mongols in 1368. Zhu Wangzhong was eager for revenge as he went after the Mongols. His extreme intelligence has led him to become a rebel leader, but did not allow his soldiers to pillage, gaining him popularity.
After 30 years of war, he freed China from the Mongol rule and claimed the Mandate of Heaven. Soon after freeing China from the Mongols, Zhu Zhongzhi began to go through with his promises.
Among many things, they promised to fix irrigation systems, the economy, and restore China to its former glory. Many of these promises were followed through with until the death of Hong Wu. His son Yongle took over to continue his father's policies.
However, in the late 16th century, the expansion of European trade spread goods from the Columbian Exchange to China and Japan. This created a new demand for Chinese goods and added a massive influx of American silver into their economy.
This abundance of silver seized by the Chinese economy became beneficial after their paper currency went through severe inflation and decreased in value. The government converted to silver for their main foreign currency.
The Ming Dynasty had two taxes, the land tax and the serfs levy tax. Both were collected in cash by the local government. This cash would be used by the government to pay for needed goods and services. This has allowed specialization growth for people to provide goods and services to the government and for themselves.
As small communities were thriving in the Ming Dynasty, the Ming government was becoming slowly more uncivilized from the lack of order. In 1370, Hong Wu reestablished the civil service exams that were discarded by the Yuan Dynasty. The civil service exams, however, were abandoned once again after disappointing results in 1373, but were brought back in 1385.
Hong Wu lodged purges of bureaucracy, military, and on the general population due to suspicion of his government officials. After his death in 1398, his grandson Jin Wen reigned from 1398 to 1402, causing tension with Zhu Di, one of Hong Wu's sons. Zhu Di, eager for revenge for not receiving the Mandate of Heaven, brought attacks on the dynasty, where he was able to capture Nanjing, but burned it to the ground in order to move the capital to Beijing.
Zhu Di took over from 1402 and sent the Ming Dynasty into a 15-year reconstruction period, rebuilding new walls, palaces, gardens, streets, and residential areas. Zhu Di brought Zheng He's voyages to life in 1405, demanding Zheng He to collect tribute from foreign rulers. He saw a change with Wan Li, a young ruler who surrounded himself with extremely able advisors.
The ever-so-promising ruler later on failed when he only met with his minister every 20 years, causing a paralyzed government and tension between the high-class officials and the royal family. More internal struggles came when the next emperor, Emperor Qi Zhuangji, transferred power to a eunuch who lacked leadership, causing the loss of a centralized government.
The Ming Dynasty received frequent threats from the Mongols of the north. It wasn't until 1449 the Mongols captured and imprisoned Emperor Yingzhong during a military campaign. These events caused Zheng He's voyages to be cut off to use all resources to gain the emperor back and keep the Mongols in place.
Cutting off these voyages sent the Ming Dynasty into an isolation that they never recovered from. They were constantly raided on the China frontier by the Mongols led by Alen Khan and were attacked on the coast by the Japanese.
In the 16th century, Zhang Zhuzheng sent one last push of reforms to attempt to bring back the glory of the Ming Dynasty. He was able to centralize the government once again, repair the Grand Canal to connect the dynasty, and limited the corrupt practices in the civil service exams.
He created a tax system that based the amount of tax you pay on how much land you own. He also formed a civilized dynasty, but that declined as leadership roles were passed on down to eunuchs. Eunuchs were unable to appeal to the peasants, which caused rebellions.
Ming loyalists requested the Manchu forces of the northeast to help to control the peasant rebellions. When the Manchu forces arrived in Beijing, they took the throne from themselves and named the new dynasty the Qing Dynasty.
Thank you for watching. Next week, we'll be covering the Qing Dynasty under the Manchu rule and how it led to being the last imperial dynasty to rule in China.
I'm Quinn.
And I'm Grant.
And this was
Crash Course
Ming Dynasty.